here we go. We're entering sort of the final
Come on, guys, you can do it.
finger crossing moments. When we hit 1 minute, so I'm going to treat this like a Falcon launch because I don't know any different, and a lot of the stuff we've seen seems to be sort of copy and pasted from Falcon's autopilot system. Or testing systems at least. So at 1 minute, I'm expecting the Starship to go into self-ignition or self-startup, which will be the point where it's controlling itself. It does its own internal countdown. This obviously could be completely wrong because it's a developmental rocket. They still might be controlling it from the ground right up until T-0.
Yeah.
But if we are equating it to Falcon, we'll be seeing it entering startup now. And the fact we didn't... Oh, is that a depress? Or is that just venting? I can't tell.
The countdown's still going.
Countdown is still going. So it's not a depress. So we are...
I was going to say, if it was depress,
yeah.
Stopped,
good point. Yeah, that's just venting. So we are seeing it spooling up. We are entering down to the T-30 second mark. I'm going to give a countdown, Havoc, just so you know what sort of time delay we're on.
It's about 4 seconds.
Cool. Are you ahead or behind?
Feed running. I'm ahead. Well, your stream is coming back to me 4 seconds after I'm seeing it on the stream.
Cool.
So
I'll give a countdown on mine anyway, just so you're sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're ready to go in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition.
It's going.
We're off! It's off the pad!
Oh shit.
It's under its own weight. That's there's no telemetry information. I wish they'd given us telemetry information. That is much higher than the 150 meter hops they do. It is well on its way up to its 12.5 kilometer apogee, and it looks like a really controlled burn.
What is that on the left hand side?
On the left hand side.
On the left hand side image, there is a small, what looks like jet of light coming off of.
That will be probably burn off and residue from engine chill down. Nothing non-nominal that I would think is coming from that.
It could actually literally just be from the speed it's going.
No, but yeah, it might be a contrail.
It could be a contrail.
If I just draw your attention to the bottom right image, you can see those Raptors are gimbaling. They're keeping it pretty damn straight. Which is fantastic. That was one of the things that was obviously a big worry, because with multiple engines gimbaling, there's more chance that one might go off kilter and send the whole thing tilting over and flying. But no, we're seeing what looks like a beautiful ascent. I just checked on.
I've got my other half watching it at the moment as well. She's sitting next to me watching it. Okay, so it's gone out of, or it looks like it's come out of like full throttle because the.
We're going to be seeing Miko any minute, and then it will just coast up to its 12.5 kilometer apogee. They might.
Okay.
Yeah, one Raptor down. I think that's nominal.
That's not.
It could still. There's.
Is that down as in it's gone out of its own volition, or it's meant to have gone out?
We don't know. So SpaceX hasn't told us what they're expecting. It does look like there's a slight
to their advantage.
Vehicle fire on the camera side of the vehicle, on the internal. We don't actually.
I think that. No, it's on the other side from where we were looking before.
But it does look still like it's holding true. Like those other two Raptors look like they're doing a hell of a good job at keeping it straight, and it only needs one Raptor, I believe, to carry it over to the launch pad. So the fact that one Raptor's gone out isn't necessarily a bad thing, and they haven't pulled the trigger on the flight termination system, which is basically just a big explosive that will shred it in half. So
that would just make it go boom.
Yeah, so there's nothing wrong at the moment that would make them cancel the whole flight. It does look like, so you can see on the top right, we're pushing out over towards the Gulf of Mexico. Over the ocean.
You can see it leaning ever so slightly in the main feed, the one from the ground.
Yeah.
You can see it leaning.
So we'll be expecting Miko any minute now, which will be main engine cutoff, which is where it'll turn off its engines, coast up to its apogee, which is 12.5 kilometers, and then it'll use those fins on the sides. This looks like Miko. Okay, so
I was going to say a second engine's gone
I think
out,
they're
so that might
spooling
have
them
been
down
on
one
purpose.
by one. That doesn't
Yeah,
look to
yeah, that
me
looks
to
like
be
it's perfect.
like something non-nominal that would cause concern.
No.
Um,
They're definitely pushing it out to like over the sea. You can see there's a substantial like veer off to over the water now,
yes,
rather than before. It was kind of difficult to tell.
which is exactly what we would expect them to do.
Expect, yeah.
And then we're hoping.
Oh, it's just fantastic. The technology involved in this. The
Yeah.
fact they're doing this all remotely as well, aren't they?
It's all pre-coded software, because obviously the delay
Oh,
and
yeah, of
stuff.
course it is.
So it's all running on internal computers. So what we should be seeing after Miko, which is well, I mean we've kind of seen Miko and Seiko. So Tico, third engine cut off.
Okay. And then is that engine cut off and that's it, or are they going to reignite them as it comes back down?
I imagine they're still going to attempt a reignition and put
Okay.
it down on the pad.
I'm explaining this to my other half as we go through.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's,
that's fine.
Like I'm taking the information you're giving me and I'm passing it over.
Yeah, that's fine. So that looks like third engine cut out there, which means we'll see it placed into its apogee and start coming down. As it starts coming down, this is the important bit, we want to see those flaps that are actuating right there. That's fucking cool. Those actuating flaps
That is awesome.
should be basically belly flopping it back down through the atmosphere, and pushing it towards its target, but still aiming it towards the sea. And then as we come down into the atmosphere, oh, that's fucking
It's doing
cool.
it.
That's incredible.
It's doing it.
It's staying level. What we want to see is those top fins are going to spread as it gets lower to push it back upright, so that Raptor can light again.
Yeah.
And then that Raptor will carry it over to the
Leaning
landing
forward.
pad, theoretically.
It's leaning forward at the moment.
Leaning forward doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing, because it's basically just a giant skydiver at the moment. So you can see it's still actuating those
cool.
fins, which is incredible.
Oh yeah, no, it's having to do it constantly because like
Yeah.
if it hits a thermal or anything like that, it's got to be able to correct itself because a thermal will completely screw this up if it didn't autocorrect.
Yeah, no, exactly. So it's keeping itself steady with those fins as if it was, as I say, a skydiver plowing its way through the atmosphere. And those fins should just shoot it into an upright position as we get lower. Again, this might just crash into the ocean. There's no telemetry, so we don't know how close it is to the ground. It's looking maybe 1,000 feet. Maybe they're not going for a relight. That is a possibility. If they think it's too dangerous, they might just dump it in the ocean. And again, this will be a complete mission success, even if this ends up in the ocean. But we
Is it trying to right itself?
could be seeing a righting maneuver. No, the flaps are still too high. This could be because they're using. It does look like it's heading
Oh, they're
straight for the
trying.
engine.
They're trying.
Oh, engine relight. Upright.
Yeah.
Come on. Land.
Come on.
Landing legs out. Landing legs out.
Oh.
Do you know what? Fuck that. That's fucking incredible.
Oh,
That's on the landing
Where did
pad.
it land?
It may have, like, last second.
It actually landed on
please
the
be
landing
stand.
pad.
That's the landing pad right there. Is it still standing? It might be on fire. It might have hit hard, but is it still standing?
I think it exploded.
There was definitely some kind of explosion, but it landed on the landing pad.
Yeah. The fact that they managed to get it arse down on the landing pad, that's incredible. The hell, that's all coded. And
I don't see a Starship in the clearing smoke.
No.
But I don't care. This is a monumental success.
That's amazing.
That's to be honest, I'm surprised it even got over land. I'm surprised it's on the landing pad. I'm not surprised it's in pieces. Holy shit.
Considering the fact that it was over the ocean.
Yes.
You see the trail of rabbits in the foreground just running away.
Yeah. The wildlife's like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah. Yeah, you can see.
There's the
parts
nose
of
cone.
it.
Is that the nose cone?
Opening 3.911 at this time. 3.911
I'm not
at this
sure if
time.
it is. Is that?
Incredible.
Yeah,
Team,
that might be.
nice work.
In the smoke.
Doesn't I think I did? I just missed that call out, but it sounded like they're not requiring 911, which means no unexpected or treatable fires.
Good. Yeah, that looks like the nose cone there.
That's
Okay, so they managed to get it over the water
yeah.
in case they needed to, and they managed to right it and get it to land with the boom
On
back
the pad.
on the landing
Arse
pad,
down.
the launch pad. That is insane.
Now, what I didn't see
Yeah,
there. Awesome, Des. Congrats, Starship team. Agreed. Agreed, SpaceX.
Yeah.